joining us here live right now, or also in the future on YouTube or Facebook. So once again, thank you for joining us. And this evening, if anybody would like to call in, I'm going to get the call number out of the way in the beginning before I forget. It's 517-208-1500. So I have that ready to go. If you'd like to call in tonight to have anything you like to express or any questions you might have for our guest tonight or myself, I'd love to hear from you. So just to start the show out, why doesn't everybody just take a deep breath in? Because I don't know about you, but once again, the energies are off the charts again today. Ooh. Just take a deep breath in, ground in, get yourself present for this hour together to have fun and explore. Just put your hand on your heart and feel the flow of your heart. For this show tonight is about flow. I thought we would talk about flow because it's something that we all strive to be in all the time. And it's something that is so difficult to keep ourselves in. And so I thought it'd be a wonderful thing. And actually it kind of started with our Hillis Pugh, who I'll be bringing on in a second. It kind of started, we were talking back and forth about, co-hosting a couple of shows together. And I had just drawn a card and it said flow. And he said, let's just go with the flow. So I'm like, here we go. That's the theme tonight is flow. So this week I also came up with a wonderful thing to think about flow, which I invite everyone to step into it and kind of feel it. So what it is, flow is to follow love over worries. And when we could come in that place of following the love over the worries, that is the space that you can move into to flow. Because when we are on worries, and like tonight, perfect example tonight, my family was out and I was like, oh my God, the show's clocking at 8, that, the window they're going to be in. And I was like totally out of the flow. And then I just took a deep breath and everything worked out. So because I let go, just went into love, stopped worrying about what was going to happen. And here we are live enjoying the show. So at further ado, so we can talk about the flow and the flow of Hillis and whatever's going to flow tonight, I'm going to bring on Hillis Pugh, who's been with me before. I think he's on one of my first or second shows or third show, one of those shows. And he is back in color. And we are color coordinated tonight, which is awesome, talking about flow. So hello, Hillis.
Hello.
How did you like that? Follow love over worries.
I love that. I really do. And it's, what it needs to be. I mean, when you're in that space of unconditional, there's no worry, right?
Oh, yeah, it's so true. So, thank you for joining me again. How fun. And just doing like a go with the flow show tonight. So who knows what's going to happen. Now, first of all, for people who have maybe didn't hear our first show that we did together, why don't you tell a little bit about yourself and who you are? Because I didn't really introduce you, just your name. So you could tell the bedazzlement of you. So you say it better than I do. So you're on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Hillis. I am an author, teacher, speaker of gratitude and the law of vibration, which is the spiritual law of the root, the main law of this law of attraction. So the law of attraction comes from the law of vibration, speak and write about. In addition to that, I am an intuitive, psychic medium, Lemurian Light worker, which I am one of 15 of on the planet presently at the moment. And so it's just glorious to sit and be and do and feel and be connected to all there is and to be of service to others.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And he does awesome work. So if anybody's interested, after I'll put in the YouTube description on how to contact him, and he'll let us know as well. So I give him a call, and he does some fabulous things. So you're Mr. Magical, let me tell you.
Oh, thank you. I think that's, when I started doing this work in itself, who knew when I was 20-something years old that I would be doing this, and because I always thought I would be a writer, that would be the only thing I would do, and that's it, nothing more, nothing less. And so should be my first love and all that I do and all that I am. And then it just slowly evolved into me tapping into the gifts that we all have. So and then the transition into Reiki, and then now this love way of life. It's something.
Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful, and the magic. And you went in and out a little bit. I don't know if you're just a teeny bit. You have some serious vibrations going on your side of the camera there.
Oh no! My ears just started ringing. Just started doing like a high pitch. I'm like, oh, they're here.
Yeah, that's what I said. You got some serious vibration going on in that room, Hillis. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Plus my Andorra crystals are here.
Oh.
Yeah, this is one. Yeah, this is one of the elder that I got from Carrie. Very amazing.
Yeah, those Andorra crystals are pretty magical crystals. So, beautiful.
Plus, I also have maybe I should turn off my 40 hertz energy that I have pumping into the space.
Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, I have.
You're going to blast everybody out here, Hillis, tonight. You're flowing out that vibration. Way to go.
Well, you know, it's funny because when you're in the space of flow, as you know, being a former high school athlete, potential collegiate athlete, the track field, that we often refer to the flow as to being in the zone. Mm-hmm. And when I write, it's like that. You just can in this unified field of consciousness, this grand oneness, this collective space, and you're just in there. It just lends itself to assist you and to guide you and to really send out whatever message, to send out whatever energy, to send out what needs to be sent out to have everyone experience. And that's partly what I do, because once you experience the magic, once you experience the joy, once you experience the love, you then want other people to share that with, and you want other people to partake, and other people's like, here you go. This is what I feel. I want you to feel it too.
Yes, and it is that easy. I mean, flow, everybody's, especially now with everything going on in the world, I don't know about you, the last couple of days, I've really felt the anger in the air. Like when I go out, it's just really been very intense. I don't know if it has to do with the elections coming up, but it's just like a new layer that's coming in. And, it really, and I lost my train of thought there where I was going with that. So we have to swoop back around. But, with the anger, staying in the flow. And that's so true what you said. When you can get yourself out of that energy and allow it to flow, it's so easy to pass that love on, to allow others to step into that energy wave with you.
Oh yeah, definitely. And, it's in tandem. And the only way that I can really articulate it is through the energy work that I do. And this, when you are sending energy work, whether it's, in person or remotely, whichever one it is, you are connected up to the collective consciousness field. Mm-hmm. And then in that space, it's like this fine veil that is you and then the person you work with, and then that person emerges out of this collective space, and you are there, and then it's like this created unified field between the two of you, and then it is just this flow of energy, because energy descends down to you, and then it flows through you to that other person, because this is what they want, this is what they've asked for. So it's in essence, everything is always in the form of vibration.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And connecting to that field and opening to that field is a great way of learning, stepping into the filaments of everything that we truly are, and that connection that we truly are to everything that happens within and also without. And to know that in order to flow with that withinness, it's not taking on the withoutness. That's not truly of the piece of who we truly are.
You know, exactly. And, you know, what's coming to mind, and, you know, because, you know, we've been on this individual journey for so long, and then sometimes we forget our lessons in the beginning. And what I am being reminded to share with everyone that when I started out doing this, you know, laying the foundation of gratitude, all these different frequencies of vibration, that everything is a, think of that when I used to do my, you know, shower meditation, my half hours and my 2 hour long baths. I would often give thanks to the pipes and which the water will flow through, all the inanimate objects and all these things. Because there's life in that. And so, you know, we tend to forget that these once inanimate objects came from organic material, you know, such as the trees or such as the minerals in the earth, the coppers that's in the walls, or to create the steel that holds up the building. So it's like everything talks. If you just say everything has a story.
Yes, and everything is interconnected and interwoven, and I think also too with flow, for me, I don't know about you, you know, one of the main things I feel is, you know, the attachment we put onto things, and you know, and it might be simple things of our behaviors or there are patterns or things like that that constrict ourselves from staying in the flow of who we truly are by being not detaching and allowing things to flow in our world by always saying, oh no, I don't do that this way. Or if something comes, no, that's not who I am, or that's not what I do. Or, you know, instead of saying, okay, this is new, let me see where this goes. And
exactly, it's like a faucet.
yes, because we attach to so many different things, even as down as to our favorite ice cream is an attachment. Like you won't try a new ice cream because you're so attached to that butter pecan or, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's exactly it, because we create this sort of symbiotic relationship to an experience or to an energy or to an object. And, you know, what's really interesting is this time in my life. I know that I'm older, in my early 40s. I grew up around feminine energy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, feminine energy, and I desired so much to have masculine presence, you know, and I had, you know, a god uncle who was always around and had this person that I could really attach to, you know, to really understand the divine masculine. I had my mom who was, you know, both embodied masculine and feminine. I also had my mother. But when you have that outward, you can only have or only associate with the feminine or something. But I say this because now, you know, that I'm, you know, in my early 40s, that I now have a relationship with my biological father.
Oh, beautiful.
And who I met 5 years ago. And just recently, and I'm still processing all of this. Just recently, I reconnected with my stepfather, who I have not seen. I was 5 years old. And it's like, okay, now that I'm older, what is the real purpose of me flowing now into this masculine energy in my older? Now I am in the flow of understanding, you know, the ebb and flow and how we embody both feminine and masculine, and which one you embody. It's not necessarily more so the physical presence, even though that's you know, obvious. More so, what do you embody?
Yes, so true, because we do embody both of those energies. And, you know, I feel it's, you know, having those role models, like, you know, you were more the female and then the masculine came into your life later on in life to balance those energies, to see both sides of those energies. And it's so important to find that balance between the beautiful energies that merge in that, that are inside of us. And it's not about the physical. It's all about learning both sides of who we are. So we can align who we are to allow that flow to come in and when we walk through the world and know those different parts of us and embrace them and embody them no matter, what they are, because they are part of who we are.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of people, get hung up or get attached to. And it's like, well, I am this and I am this, and they get, have all these labels. And what
I get so confused with all the labels. I'm going to be completely honest with you. We were talking about this the other day. I just I don't understand them all.
See, it was, I forgot what show, but it's, nothing against the younger generations. I love them and appreciate everything they're doing to assist in the evolution of the planet.
Yeah.
However, at the same time, they are creating contrast within themselves, meaning that, I want this, I want this, I want this, I'm going to do what I can to move the energy forward, which I honor and appreciate. At the same time, it's like, well, I'm not this, I'm this, this, and this. It's like, well, why are you going to call me this when I'm not that, but I'm this, such as, non-binary or pansexual or cis male. And I'm like, I can't.
I feel
and
that.
not to be, disrespectful.
Yeah.
But it's at the same time, you are putting yourself in a bucket, and now there's 20 buckets to identify with when you are just this expression. And when you allow yourself to be this expressive being, then there is no label. You just are who you are. And so now I now feel part of that reason is because the labels are there for, as I sit here, what's coming to me, and for us, the older generation, understand that they are more than that.
Yes.
And so the older generation has to go, okay, y'all making it worse by having these youngsters get all these labels for us to identify with their expression.
Yes, true. And I totally agree with not disrespect, but sometimes it makes my head, because not being disrespectful of the millennials and they're growing up in all these different, but once again, it's labels. And I just don't understand what label it attaches, not being just because I look at the beautiful people. I look at people for the beauty that they truly are, no matter what, and look beyond. And I'm really not one to like to attach myself to labels. That I just look at the beautiful person that someone is, and it doesn't. To me, it's like, you are who you are. I see the beauty in you. It doesn't matter, what your sexual preference is. I mean, it does to you, but I mean, from my point of view, it's like, I just see you, you don't have to I see you.
Yeah.
You don't have to label yourself as someone to prove that you're something, to put yourself in a box, because your beautiful soul doesn't belong in a box. And that's the key. They all they want to put themselves in a box, in a container, to identify themselves. And I think there's this whole crisis going on right now. Everybody's trying to find their identity. And so these labels are helping them box into that. Well, I'm this, I'm that. And I think, I really feel that the world, needs to start flowing out of that and just open up to be who they are, no matter what it is. And the labels really don't matter in the grand scheme of the higher realms that be.
Exactly. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, especially the ending about higher realms that be, because there was a time when I was doing research for a play that I was in the midst of writing. And it's been so long ago, but I remember that there was an African deity, African god, and that could change their will. They were both embodied in masculine and feminine. And I thought that was really amazing. I'm like, why can't we just be that? We just do that. And, years later, I realized that we are doing that. just, doing it on a physical level to a degree to where, we have our personalities that exhibit, have our mannerisms that exhibit these traits, the things that we wear to help amplify or accessorize who we are, or just to be a flow to accept your willingness to be part, and that is just amazing.
It is. And as a consciousness, we're on that journey all together. I mean, I think of like where our history's been and what we've been through and where we are now and what's going in the world right now, what's being unfolded, in front of us, what's been brought up. And, we are at an identity crisis, you want to say, moving into this new energy, that's coming down on the planet with the rise of everything. People are really trying to figure out who they are, what they're here for, what their purpose is, and where they want to go. And I think that the initial of all these labels right now has, everything's been opening up with the transsexual stuff and, all the sexuality things that have been going on. That whole world's been, the transgender is kind of like last couple of years has been unlocking and locking and locking and locking. And now it's to a point where it's talked about, it's accepted, to release and let go, to move into the energies where everybody can be in the alignment of who they truly are and don't have to like live in those labels anymore. It's like, it's that teeter-totter like push of change.
Exactly. And what's most fascinating about all of this is that now that we are moving more rapidly into this 5D, and people are in this space of who am I, what am I to do, what's my purpose, and either, you and I, we've had these discussions before, especially moving into this energy now.
Yeah.
I don't consider us masters, but more veterans doing the work that we do. But we still have those moments of self-identity crisis or our purpose. So what am I going to do now? What am I to do now? So it's like, because the information that she sent me the other day about the Blu-rays, I'm like, why?
The Blu-rays I sent you the other day.
Yeah, exactly. And so, it wasn't until I think earlier this year that I discovered what a Blu-ray was. And it's like, it makes so much sense. I'm always wearing blue anyway. And so, with all this information, like, this makes so much sense. And because I was a child,
Yeah,
like, it's more me. And connecting with that has really moved me into a place of more of an understanding of where I'm going and my purpose and how I am and my role that I signed up for.
yes. And right now, I don't know about you, talking about identity and who we are, which you said before, and, connecting to the Blu-rays, and that energy and what that encompasses, and it just, all the different rays and all the different, star children and rainbow children, and it just goes on and on and on. Being in that energy, we are literally just being stripped away of everything right now. I remember when I was in training for when I went for Cambo training, it was like the full moon and the house was full of people. I don't know, it was some crazy moon and all the planets were lying. I literally had a breakdown. I just started bawling, crying. And
that's right, because that was when all the planets were in alignment. I remember that. Yeah.
And I just remember sitting there. I was like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's going on. And I'm just literally bawling my eyes out. I don't know why I'm bawling, but I literally just felt like I'd been like torn apart, and I had no idea who I was, where it was going. And I feel a lot of people are going through that right now, of just literally being torn apart of everything they ever were, going back to the vulnerability, the beginning of everything, to build themselves back, because we now get to choose who we want to be. We now get to choose what vibration we want to vibrate at. We now get to choose where we want to be on this planet of, everything that's going on, and where we want to land when everything moves through that's happening right now on so many different levels. And it's like, and people can't hide from it anymore, because energetically the energy of the planet right now and the waves that are coming in, you can't resist it anymore. I
No.
mean, you can't. It's not allowing anybody to. I mean, there's different levels, but everybody's in this up level right now. And it's so interesting to watch on so many different levels.
It is. And you know, I think my experience with that was around the same time, because I had a friend of mine, peer, friend, client, I don't know. But anyway, I was, at one point, I was at that time doing a meditation, and I was sitting in front of my altar, had my candle lit, and I think maybe about 2 days prior to, no, a week prior to that, I got this new symbol, this new the infinite gateway, the one I showed.
Sent me?
Yeah, the one where you got the eye problem from looking at it too much. And so that night, I had the vision of that in my mind. And as I was sitting there doing the candle glass split almost perfectly down the middle.
Wow.
And this was like not just a regular candle. It was like it was a really thick glass. And so I texted my friend and said, "What happened?" And she's like, "Yeah, this is, you're at the beginning stage, so you have to relearn everything all over again. It's like you're going to the next level." And I'm like, "What do you mean I got to learn everything?" So it's like, we're all in this together, this collective learning school in different grades, in different levels, and everything from preschool all the way up to graduate school. We're all in this together, relearning everything. Because, this new 5D energy is what we've been asking for so long, but we could not know what we have didn't express to that, which was everything that's going out the window now. I mean, including the kitchen. Get rid of it all. Buy a new planet.
Clean it all up. And Mother Nature is saying, I'm cleaning up too. So she's, we need to start like shoreline property. We got to move it back. Mother Nature wants her space now, So
Exactly.
We got to comment. We got to chat. George, I can't say his last name. Talaku. Okay, I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm very sorry, Giorgio. Said, "See you in the east. See you on the right side of history." Yes.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness. I'm not one. Well, you and I, we both know what's really on the planet as well. We were in the rabbit hole for quite a long period of time. And I think it's so funny. We were in the rabbit hole at the same time, and then we kind of like stopped at the same time too. So funny how we think like that. It's like, oh wait, I'm done. I know what's happening. I know what's emerging. I don't need to be in it. And so with everything that's happening on that, on the physical level to energetic level, that the history of the planet, if you ask me, I believe will be gone. What was 20 years ago, even 5 years ago, will be gone. I mean, there's more.
Yeah, everything's shifting and changing. And it's interesting you say that about the rabbit hole. I was thinking that, feeding into, so much is happening now with all the conspiracies and this and that. And, once again, we were both down the rabbit hole together, like following everything. And this is going this and, it just everything that's going on. There's so much going on. And, and the same thing, I was like, totally same thing. I felt the energy just to step away. I know what information I need to receive always comes to me, but I had to like release the energy, even of the conspiracy stuff going on. Not that it's not the truth, but it's like, I don't know, there's just a new energy that we need to step into to move it forward. And kind of, that's almost the old stuff, even though it's unwinding, if that makes sense. I felt like we have to bring in that new energy and get out of the swirl we're stuck in with this old stuff.
No, exactly. Now I am 100% right there with you. And one of the things that has been coming up for me is like, okay, I know what's happening, I know what's moving, I know what's shifting, but how do I allow myself to be present for others when they begin to realize the truth.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of stuff, a lot of information that was misconstrued, a lot of information that was hidden, a lot of information that was, didn't play into the average or less than average hands or ideals. And so now it's like, oops, can't hide that anymore.
Well, to say to that, I mean, I'm a firm believer, and this is from my heart, I believe, always, no matter what information you receive, who your teachers are, what's coming at you, always step into your heart and go with your own truth. Don't allow others to sway your opinions. You need to stand I'm a firm believer, you need to stand in your own truth, what's true for you. And a lot of people get so caught up in, everything, well, this is true, well, that's true. And I feel a lot of times don't step in and say, how does it resonate with me? And so I highly recommend people, when information comes, you don't have to agree with everyone. Everybody's able to have their own interesting point of view. And it's to have compassion for that point of view, but you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to argue with it to show that you are right, because that just adds energy in a whole nother direction. But it's just opening up to that space to allow them to have their point of view and know that what is right in your heart, and always follow that. Because right now, talking about flow again, in the heart is where things are flow. We are moving from that consciousness to use the heart is our guide right now, for everything in the world. The guide is in our heart, and people really need to expand out to step into that heart and really learn to function from that space in order to navigate these energies that are coming in right now in a positive way, to keep people in the flow, to keep themselves in the flow and not the constriction.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because, scientists have even talked about how the heart is the governor of the mind-body connection. Everything comes from the heart. If we didn't have a heart, there would be no blood running up to the brain to give it oxygen so you can process all of this information, all these thoughts and ideas. But on a much deeper level, if you want to talk about the heart, let's talk about it in an energetic space, because you have the heart chakra and how it's connected to everything. And without the heart chakra, you wouldn't have the power of the solar plexus to feed that energy, to feed that. You have to really understand the source of your power, the source of your strength, and where it comes from, and what you connect.
Yes.
Because that power that flows up into the heart, and then it allows for the infinite connection to all there is. And so when we decide, that we are allowing the flow to come in, and the flow to go out to our extremities, and to come back in how we are plugged in and connected to nature, or just everyday life and how you feel, because that's a big part of what I teach is how you feel. And even with my clients, it's like, how are you feeling? It's like, if I'm feeling good, then unplug, go plug into something else, jump on the pool or something,
Yes. And once again, you brought up nature, and I'm a huge component of sitting out in nature and really connecting. And I have found, I don't know about for you, Hillis, like even nature, if you sit and be silent in the nature, she's talking to us more than ever. The plants are talking, the animals are talking and communicating at a different level, but we've all got to go in the stillness and the silence in order to listen to that vibration that they're functioning from. And when you can connect to that, it's so beautiful. Laura says your voice sounds distorted. Yeah, Laura, we know it's something, the distortion in your voice is, I think it's in the room. So we're doing the best we can here, right?
Thank you for that, but I know there's a slight echo in the space that I'm in. I need to add some more soundproof into this.
Yes. And Laura, he has a whole bunch of crystals and stuff in there. So he has all kinds of beings in there, which is distorting the energy as well.
Hey, don't talk about my friends.
I know you love your friends. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I
But
know
you know, when you deal with energy, they love to play with electronic things and distort things.
they do. They're sending messages. They're sending out these high vibe frequencies to everyone that's listening right now.
Yes, and in the future. And words really don't mean much in the grand scheme of things. It's all about the vibrations. So you just got to step in and hear those light codes coming through.
Exactly. And, speaking of light codes and frequencies, one of the things that I appreciate that you do that's so much in the flow,
What is that, Hillis?
your paintings behind your head.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And so, and I bring that up because that's another way to be in the flow is to speak from that creative space. As I talked about before, I'm a writer. Or write poetry. And so when we, Source speaks to us in many, many, many ways. Whatever we find and whatever we are connected to, that this instrument, this body, right, guides you into assisting and helping you to create and to give you the tools and resources connect to and allow. And so it is a beautiful way to express that divine connection.
Yes, and I think anything creative, that's so important, whether it be, and find what's creative for you. And, when I teach these classes and I do these, and it's so funny how people look at, a lot of people, like, they freeze when it comes to painting. Like, it's just, I can't paint. And it's not about painting anything. Half these paintings, I start out in a circle. I mean, it's all about the energy. And it's like, it's finding how you can express without using words through whether, just writing, drawing, painting, doodling, just scribbling. I mean, you know how much scribbling can really release energies and allow you to get out of your head. It's so powerful. These simple things are so intense. Laura says it's all about expression and flow. Yes, Laura, thank you so much
Yes,
for that.
it is.
Yeah. And that's what it's about. So too, she also said, I did a psychic piece in 2010 with a message from spirit in it. Oh, awesome. Thank you
That's
for sharing.
beautiful. I love that. Thank you, Laura, for sharing. And it's funny you say that because I've always kind of been somewhat fearful of painting or drawing to some degree. I knew I was never a good drawer, and I think it stems from my dream that I had, my dream job as a child, that I wanted to be an aerodynamic engineer. Well, I think I knew I couldn't draw, but I figured out along the way, somehow I'll figure out how to draw, really amazing car, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I think I got to 8th grade, maybe my freshman year in high school, I realized how much math was involved in becoming an aerodynamic engineer. Like, nope, not for me. But I say that to say that fast forward to over the summer, I started doing my intuitive drawings with my symbols and connecting with the energy in that way, which is very powerful, and didn't realize how much it helps other people.
It does. They're powerful. And thank you for sharing those with me. They're amazing. He always sends me his updates. Look what I got now. Look what I got. It's so fun. And I think going back to what you were saying before about the fear of painting and things, I think a lot of people are afraid to do that. I know one of mine wasn't painting, but it was writing because, I grew up, and I'm going to say it wrong. Dyslexia, I always say it wrong because I say everything wrong. I say it in my own way.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
You got it. So anyhow, growing up that way, I was always afraid to write because I was afraid I was going to mess something up or, so I can totally get you with the painting. And I think it breaks down to, how we're so conditioned to judge ourselves and compare ourselves to other, that person's doing a wonderful job. I can't write, and all that conditioning and all these attachments to this conditioning we have that has stopped us from being in the creative flow of ourselves.
Totally, because I mean, I have dyslexia. I still.
At least you can say it. I can't even say it.
I mean, and sometimes I find myself, I do have to go. I mean, thank goodness now for spell check and autocorrect and all these things. I mean, and thank goodness that, my vocabulary is broad enough to where I know and understand what words I'm using. But at the time, if I'm sending, writing an email at 8 o'clock in the morning, like, what does it say? Who am I with? So it's like those little things, and so it's like those things that I've trained myself to do,
Yes.
to catch it.
Yes. And Laura commented again, we got another chat. I'm like using the chat. And we don't mind at all that you can comment as much as you want. That is why this show is here for just for me to express, for Hillis, whoever's on the show, but also all of you. That's why I started this show, as a place for people to express with no judgment, share whatever. So Laura, sweet sister, share as much as you want. I'm so taken in, so much gratitude for all your knowledge and sending what you are. So just wanted to say that.
Yes. Thank you so much, Laura.
Yes, I don't know if you can see the comments. Can you see the comments?
I can.
Oh, okay. So Hillis can see the comments. I have no idea. So,
and talking about being in the flow, I've done many interviews over the past, I don't know, years. And I've always been, so formal, with a nice shirt, nice this, nice that. And I'm like, I'm in Florida. I'm going to put on a nice tank top.
I thought that was fabulous. I was just like, yes.
I have another side of me that people haven't seen in the interviews. Not saying that I'm stuck up or stuffy or this one-dimensional person. It's about, feeling into what feels good. And that's part of being in the flow. It's flowing into what feels good.
And you got that pink with that neon pink sign I put up for our little advertisement. Flow.
Yes, it's so funny how everything's just coordinated with the banner, and I'm like, okay, this is not me, this is you.
That is the flow when we co-create together, and that's that's so important nowadays. Is not to compete with each other. No. That has to go the freak away, back in the back, and really co-create each other, with each other, to help lift each other out and allow other people, to work together to bring the best out in everyone you work with and everybody you're exposed to help them on their journey and assist them to be the best they possibly can be, and stop the competition, because it's not about competition. It's all about communion now.
Yeah, exactly. It's about, motivation as well. And and I can speak to this because being a former athlete, there was these times and these moments where we were born in this place of competition. So you have to win. You have to be a winner, and it was just so much embedded in our culture. This form of, and then, it evolved to healthy competition where, competing with this person to be better and to help make me better. So now it has evolved into the motivation. And it's like, okay, well, this person motivates me to do this and to do better, to be better. And then it got to a place to where, okay, what can I do to help motivate myself? So before, when I was a gym rat, when I was always at the gym, I was like, okay, what can I do to make myself better? Now it's like we're all moving in this line, like this whatever army line thing that we're in right now, but we're moving into this space of, I understand why I am. I appreciate why I am. I appreciate the people for me who inspire me to be a better version of myself. So now we're moving into this inspirational space to live into our best and highest self, whatever that may be. And so whatever it takes to level and move through this experience, every facet of it, to get there. frequencies to put all of that competitive, the lower vibrational frequencies off.
Yes. I think I lost you for a second. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, you've been out for a second. It's all good, yes. And oh, it's 8:45 already. This hour's like flown by. Oh my gosh.
Well, see, this is what happens when you have two amazing people.
I know. Super fabulous. Super fabulous. So,
Yes.
in your super fabulousness, by the way, I wanted to know, since we have a break here, do you have any specials or anything now that you're running, or how people get in contact with you for anything? And I'll also, when I do the description on the YouTube thing, I'll put your information as well for people like finding this in the future or whatever. But for now, do you want to just people can connect with you?
So it's so funny too that I actually started this last night. So I have a free book promotion of my book. I will send you the link. You can put it in. Oh, well, I don't know why I don't talk about it. I've been so focused on my energy work. I don't even talk about it much. But this is why.
Well, we need to promote the book now. So you got your book.
So my book is titled Awaken with Gratitude, Volume Air, and it is on promotion, free promotion from today, September 5th until Tuesday, September 29th. You can download a free copy of the book. And this book is the beginning of my spiritual journey and how I talk about gratitude from a perspective, how to have gratitude for the smaller things in life, for the day-to-day, this thing or that thing. So it really is, it's really like to gratitude.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a best practice you can share with everyone who's listening to this on gratitude, like your number one best practice?
So my number one practice and what helped me get into the flow is what I call my Thank You Rampage. And so it simply is this. You can take a few seconds or as long as you want, but you can do it anywhere, in the shower, in the car, at your job, whenever, wherever, it doesn't matter. And so you can just simply start off by saying, thank you for this hot shower today. Thank you for this toothpaste and toothbrush. Thank you. Thank you for the food I live in. Thank you for the amazing food that I eat today. Thank you for whatever. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And so what happens, you start off with material things, with the physical, it just opens you up to non-physical. And so it just slowly helps you to release any resistance to any energies. And then you can also do it in the form of an affirmation. I also do sometimes as well by saying, I am happy and grateful for blank. I am happy for grateful for this. I'm happy and grateful. It just really amplifies the energy, wanting things I already have.
And I think that also works too when something might go out of flow of what's going on, to still have thank you for this moment, because for whatever reason it happened, to either learn from, teach from, or part of your experience to grow from. So I feel having gratitude for even for things like that as well is very important.
Yeah, I mean, it's the foundation of my work. It's the foundation for everything that I do. I mean, and teaching this over the years, I've learned how important it is to have appreciation, to elevate yourself into that space. So it's really
And it's very important right now, very, very important right now, to really keep yourself in gratitude as much as possible. And, to really keep yourself grounded and keep yourself in the heart, and, be appreciative for things that you have in your world, because if we don't stay in that space, it's just going to start dragging us as a consciousness back down into density. So the more we can stay in the space of gratitude, the better, it just is going to help our consciousness to move through, so we can be on the right side of this. Not that there's a right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. I know that, but
exactly.
We can be on the magic side of this. Let's put it that way. Ta-ta.
Yes, exactly. And so another way that people can get a hold of me as well, if they would like to experience the Lemurian light work energy that I do. Typically, I usually don't run promotions, but here.
We're going with the flow.
Exactly.
We don't have a promotion with a flow.
And so for anyone who is watching now or later, you can connect with me on social media or through my email, which is hillis@hillispugh.com. That's HILS at HILLIS.com. And there we can schedule a consultation first, almost, before we can get into half-hour Lemurian Light session. $5 is valued at $200. And typically, I only do these in hour increment because there's much more benefit to an hour-long session with me.
And they are amazing because I experienced one. So thank you for my session, Hillis, because I really thoroughly enjoyed it. So
You're so welcome, and you're amazing too, especially when the like transmission. Oh my goodness, that is
yeah, I was thinking maybe I'll do one tonight. I haven't done one for everyone in a while, so yes, I'm feeling like the end of the night here. We'll do a couple minutes of a little cosmic tune-up, I like to call them. So.
Well, of course, I mean you can't do a cosmic tune-up on the Cosmic Tune-Up show. I mean, come on.
I know. Oh, I guess Laura was having trouble understanding you, but you were breaking up a little bit.
So, Laura, my dear, I am sorry that you are having a little bit difficulty. I hope this is a little bit better for you. So, why don't you reach out and we can connect if you want to take advantage of any of the promotional offers for tonight, if that's what you were having difficulty doing. And we can go from there. I mean, just let us know, and I will be in touch.
Yes, and Laura, if you didn't hear what it was, you can also contact me at I'm like at www.RebeckaGregory.com. So, or you can also post in here, and I can get in contact with you as well. So, we just helping each other out as we move through this. What are we in bobbleheads now? Are we doing bobblehead?
Yeah, that's what happens when the frequency gets going.
It's going. Let me tell you, I'm like burning up over here. I'm like already sweat today because like I don't know what happened. Florida was starting to cool off. Today it came back to like 100-something degrees, and I was like, really? I thought you were gone.
Laura, I'm glad that you were here to see the whole thing. I don't think there was no one singular best part to it all, as it is all. But yes.
So, is there anything you want to close up tonight with our flow? And I will do a couple minutes of some sound transmission. See what comes through tonight. But I want to thank you again for joining me, and and also so I can do the thing. Subscribe to below to on Oneness Talk Radio on YouTube, so you can click and see us live anytime. Always wanted to do that. What they always do is subscribe below.
Yeah, exactly. You can subscribe to my channel too, but not below.
It's not below, but we'll put it in below on the description when this comes out live, so they will see it and be able to subscribe to you as well.
Yeah, I have some Lemurian Light meditations on my channel as well.
Yeah,
which are really amazing too. So, but in closing, I would just like to say that honor yourself from where you are. Don't beat yourself up because you are where you're supposed to be, are where you are where you are supposed to. But just take solace in that and know that there's no comparison to anyone else other than yourself. And even then, there's no comparison because you're always changing, always evolving. You were is not who you will be. Who you were is not who you are. And who you are will always be changing. So, yeah, just be easy. Be in the
Beautiful
flow.
words. So true. I always love the question, is this honoring me?
Love that.
Isn't that good? I get good ones every once in a while. But, and also, you know, with that, I have a whole list of ones. Let me tell you, one night I'll just have to do the whole entire list of my Beckyisms that I've come up with over the years. I mean, it'll take probably 2 hours, but we'll have to do that one show. No.
I love that Beckyisms.
Beckyisms, you know? Yeah, I have my own language, my own way of speaking and words. You can ask anybody who knows me. So it is who I am. So, and you know, that's what it is. You have to be who you are no matter what. As Hillis said, and it's so important not to beat ourselves up right now. And also, if you feel like you're alone, you know, I know a lot of people with everything going on with the virus and everything, just remember, find somebody to reach out with too. You know, find your little tribe that you can talk to that's not going to judge you, to allow you, and make sure you have somebody to connect with at all times. It's so important right now. And to know, even though you might feel alone, you're never alone. You are never alone. You're always connected. And for those on a path that are growing and expanding right now, if you're feeling you're alone and you're like, oh, I can't connect to spirit, you know, just always remember, in those spaces is the space of a true transformation that's about to unfold. So don't beat yourself up. Just love yourself even more and watch everything unfold and flow.
Amazing.
And kisses and hugs to everyone. We've got like 1 or 2 minutes left. So I'm going to do a little sound before I have to like hang up and say goodbye because the show's over, because that's what happens with me. And so we got a couple minutes. Thank you, Hillis, for joining. Kisses and love to everyone out there. A big heart. Let me tell you, keep on going. Keep on swimming along. You all got this. We're all together. We're going through this together. So love everyone out there. Mwah. So just take a deep breath. We're just going to go for a couple minutes here because we're kind of running out of time, but just give you a little quick spit shine. Deep breath in. Hands on your heart. Say your beautiful name to yourself and allow yourself to feel the flow of you. I want to thank you once again, everyone, for joining the Cosmic Tune-Up Happy Hour this evening, and for Hillis joining me as well. And I'm so proud of you stepping out of the box and wearing your tank top. How cool is that? I'm telling you, it's all good. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, weekend, day, night, whenever you find us. And I appreciate you all. Keep on swimming. Love you all. Bye.
Bye, everyone.